Let's just take it easy and smoothly transition into a new year with a single, special, standalone helmet. This is the Fort Technologies Kiver-M, or Kiver-M FHS. It is a handmade helmet consisting almost entirely of thick Aramid blankets sealed in with foam. This GOST 1 Plus rated helmet was released around the mid-90s and is featured in a specific video game that has been really pissing me off lately. Anyway, this very old example of one of Russia's first Aramid fiber helmets is very well preserved and was donated by Mitch5775. This Kiver-M FHS will be the subject of this video's giveaway. All you've got to do to enter is leave a comment. These helmet tests would have been possible had it not been for support from Commando Store. Commando Store provided funding for the helmets, the 5.7 pistol, and armor-piercing ammunition. Commando Store sells military-related items of all kinds, including my mascot, Gondola. Now, that GOST 1 Plus rating you don't see very often. It shows up on a modern helmet, the LSHZ1 Plus, hence the name. I've heard that the 1 Plus rating is supposed to be an equivalent rating with NIJ-3A. And that makes sense considering that at GOST 2 rating you have to survive Tokarev steel core, and that emphasis steel core ammunition will beat NIJ-3A armor. Lots of internet sources say that the helmet is simply a regular GOST 1 class, but that is simply not the case. It says 1 Plus on the tag, and there is a difference. These Fort helmets are usually accompanied with a GOST 1 rated ballistic visor made by Omnitech, but I wasn't able to source one in time for the video. Assuming my funds hold up for future body armor tests, or you all keep supporting this channel with generous donations, I could definitely make a follow-up video testing its visor. I did a couple of GOST 1 rated visors earlier in the ZSH12 video, as well as the K6 visor addendum. There definitely was some variation in the actual protection of those two visors, but I have a feeling that the Omnitech visor is a little stronger than both of those. If you send me money, I'll prove it. Anyway, let's move on to testing, starting with 9x19mm. We hit it with 2 rounds. Just like with the 2DT helmets, and just like most Kevlar helmets, the bullets are captured internally. I dug them out of the helmet at home to find intact copper jackets and interesting mushrooming. There is no backspace deformation, so let's move on to 357 Magnum. Again, not a particularly exciting GoPro capture, but digging out the bullet reveals another beautiful mushroom. Although there is some slight deformation on the inside of the helmet, this time it isn't enough to threaten the wearer. Transitioning to SS190. The first shot impacted a little high, so I hit it again. Both rounds penetrated, and that high shot went through the inside and out of the helmet. Most of the helmets that have been featured on this channel are GOST 2 rated, so they're able to withstand steel core Tokarev projectiles. I don't have any of those rounds to test the Kiver with, but because GOST 1 Plus is used as an analog for NIJ-3A with a lot of more modern Russian helmets, I developed a manic desire to see how the helmet would do against a solid lead 5.7 FMJ round as a sort of intermediary hitter between GOST 1 and 2. So in the pouring rain, I went to make this additional test in the early AM. The bullet went right through. This really is right on with what you'd think GOST 1 Plus is supposed to mean. That is, somewhat better than being able to take Makarov rounds, but worse than Tokarev steel core. But unless I'm wrong, I don't think GOST 1 Plus was ever a real government classification. So don't use this test of a GOST 1 helmet to judge the LSHZ1 Plus helmet until I've tested it. The LSHZ helmet seems to use the same shell as the Russian Army's 6B47 helmet. I'll be testing that 6B47 and several helmets of the Russian Army very soon. We're also running out of Russian helmets to test, so if you're getting sick of this shit, don't worry, because we'll be moving on.
The United States is owned by foreign corporations.
Shut up, bitch, man.
Fuck you! If you do not participate in the jihad, you're not entitled to the booty.